So I just got a vehicle that came in. It is a Firebird, Trans Am, whatever. I've never filled it myself to actually look. 80s era. I'll have to pull it in and see what it is. The car has been sitting for a while. Basically, I'm going to have to go through this car and make it roadworthy again. If we do go through the motor, we'll be doing a lot of stuff. If not, we'll just be getting it running. But either way, it should be an interesting little project. And I hope you guys can follow along and watch this series on this Firebird / Trans Am. So let's get it pulled in. I have to winch it in. So you can see I'm wearing a coat. It is now cold enough outside that I need a coat. This is probably a little bit too heavy, but it's roughly 45 degrees outside. So we have it in. I'm kind of taking a glance at it here, and I noticed several things. There's a couple little dings. It's in really good shape overall. See a little spot of rust here, no big deal. The wing has the typical kind of, I don't even know how to describe it. It gets those cracks and stuff in it. A few things I noticed right away. The bolts are loose or something there. The hood liner's all beat up and tattered. You know, it's an old car. I kind of expected that. The AC belt is missing. I'm wondering if it's bad or if the belt just came off. Who knows? It's hard to say. No battery. It hasn't ran in forever, so why would it have a battery? Interior is really clean. I wish you guys could see this better. I'd have to get a lot of lighting. But this interior is in immaculate shape. The dashboard, I don't even see a crack on the dashboard. Well, there we go. There's our one crack. So we got a crack there. A little bit of breakage here. I wonder if there's a replacement piece for this that I can get. Well, this corner is good. The other corner has a little bit of a bad spot on the paint. See the cracking going on there. That's kind of normal for these cars. See, there's no plate. That's because this thing hasn't been driven in forever. How's this look? I'm curious. Wow, it's really clean. I wish you guys could see that a little bit better, but it is super clean. Definitely not at all complicated gas cap. Oop, the seal is cracked though. So I'll have to get a new seal for that, maybe. If I can remember, of course. Oh, look how clean these wheels are. This car is just awesome. I mean, it's in really good shape. These things are cracked, but that's normal, like I said. I mean, that's kind of a thing that happens here. See, here's that chip I was talking about. And you see the paint? It's got these crazy red flakes in it. After I go through it, she's going to get it repainted. Those red flakes, she does not like that at all. Whoever did the paint job, she wasn't very happy with them because they did that. But yeah, let's get rocking on this thing and see what we're up against. Alright, nice clean blank slate. I got this covered up because the customer's number and name and stuff on there. But let's quick take a peek under the hood and see what we have to do before I go ahead and call her up and say, hey, here's the drill. We need to start with this, that, and the other. So we need a battery. I'm going to write the hood thing down just because, so I don't forget. Let's flush the cooling system, probably. Maybe not all tailed up. Definitely stored inside. The brakes are actually really clean. Wow, that exhaust is so rotten from the inside out. Well, there you have it. I will get rolling on taking some parts apart. This will definitely be a series of videos. There's no way I'm going to accomplish this list to just get it to the running position. I mean, this is just a good start. This isn't even probably tickling what I'm going to do to this thing. I'll be checking the gasoline, making sure that's in decent shape, and then we'll go from there. So first things first with this car, I just got done testing the fuel pump. I had to go to the connector at the back of the car here. There's one that goes right behind the seats. I tested it there because the test connector that's up under the engine bay, I could not find it. I don't know which one it is. So I just tested it back here. There's supposed to be a relay up there too, but the claimed spot for the relay doesn't look right. So information on this car is scarce as far as I'm concerned. I'm sure I could get a manual that would actually point me in the right direction, but my online data doesn't have what I need, at least not easily. So I just tested it in the back. And now what I'm going to do, the fuel pump is bad. I mean, it just clicks. It doesn't even try and run. So either it's got full gel up inside the pump, or it's got a locked up scenario and there's something wrong with it. But I can hear it click every time I give it power. So I'm going to pull this muffler out of the way, and I'm just going to cut it off because it's junk anyway. It doesn't really matter. And then I'm going to go ahead and pull the tank down, and we're going to get that thing cleaned out and try and get fuel to the fuel rail. Once I have fuel to the fuel rail, we'll see if the injectors can even fire. And we'll just go from there. Oh, yeah. Pretty sure my camera puttered out there before, so you guys didn't get to see me actually wrestle this thing out of there. Holy crap, was that tough. This thing, it is a 4-hour job according to my data. Well, 3.6. In reality, it's 4. It's an old vehicle. So with that in mind, I thought, okay, this is going to be a little bit tough. That was ridiculous. I didn't expect to have to pull the axle almost completely off. I probably would have been better off pulling the axle off. But I got it down, so now I have to take the ring out of here after I clean everything up, and I can smell this thing. It smells just rancid. Bad, bad varnish smell to it. So I have to get this thing taken apart, cleaned out. I ordered a pump already. I'm definitely going to need to put a pump in it. So let's get started. I'm going to go do some research, see if I can find a new entire sending unit. I ordered the pump, but I don't think I want to put just the pump in. I have a feeling this is going to go bad shortly after. If it does work now, it'll go bad relatively quick. This stuff's pretty darn yellow. Not looking good. I'm going to have to do a little clean out on this tank. In fact, the tank is quite rusty on the inside. So, I got the tank here. Obviously you can hear all the noise. In fact, I'll turn it down a little for the camera. This is a heat gun. I'm heating the bottom of the tank. I cleaned it all out, used water, degreaser, several other things, the hose, and just flushed it around, shook it real good. Once this is dry, I have a blower in here, just like a little PC fan, squirrel cage style blower. And once this is dried out, I will take maybe some ball bearings or something heavy and big, and shake it around in there and then vacuum it out really good. And if there's any rust in there that's actually surface rust, it looks like most of it might have actually been varnish. It just looked really nasty because varnish looks like rust. If there's any surface rust in there, I ordered a can of red coat already. It's a fuel tank liner, and I'll put that in here if I do have any rust, because even if there's a little bit of rust, rust always spreads. So you put the liner in there, it stops it in its tracks and it can't spread anymore. And if it does somehow manage to spread a little bit, it'll stay under the liner and won't cause an issue for a long time. So that's what I'm going to do, and I'll show you guys when I pour the liner in how you have to go about tumbling and sealing and preparing this thing. Alright, I got a couple things to do this morning, but first thing I'm going to do is take care of this Trans Am tank. I have another vehicle to pull in after this. However, I want to get the coating on here because I'm going to do the Trans Am after that vehicle. I have the aggregate, I'll call it. I'm not going to pour all this in there. There's some small bearings in there. But I'm going to take all the big stuff. I have some ball bearings, some of these roller bearings, the tapered style, a couple different sizes of things. And I'm going to put those inside that tank if it's dirty enough. Shake it around, get all those out. And there's a plastic fuel tray inside here. I have to get that fuel tray at bare minimum loose. I cannot remove it because that hole is not big enough. So at bare minimum, I'm going to get it loose, and then I'm going to go ahead and throw this red coat in there. This is a fuel tank liner. It's designed specifically for this, and I'm going to move that around, show you guys that process of doing so. Okay, so you see that little bit of stuff right there? That is the varnish. The stuff on this plate is the rust. Now you can see those plastic tabs there. Those tabs, I have to pop those, get that plastic separated, and then I'm going to take that plastic and I'm going to like wrap it in a baggie. Try and squeeze a baggie in here and get it in there. I don't know how I'm going to do that with one hand, but I'm going to give it a shot. You can see some more of that crap over here. And that's what I'm going to be breaking free with those little bearing pieces. And then of course the red coat's got to try and coat that rust as much as possible, which is going to be tough because that's a centerpiece or a divider, but should be relatively straightforward. That is really loud doing that. So I have the magnets. I took a couple neodymium magnets, set it in here, and then started capturing all these pieces of metal, the bearings that I put inside. I had them on the bottom at first, and then I had to move them up here because I couldn't seem to get a couple of the last balls out. I have all the bearings out, but it took me a little bit to do it, and in the process I dumped a little rust on me. So now this thing has so much varnish in it yet from breaking it all loose, all the stuff everywhere, from shaking it around. I didn't have to shake it very long. It broke a lot of it loose. But shaking it around, now there's just piles of that dust kind of all over the place in here. So I gotta try and pull it in one corner, vacuum some of it, and then I'm probably gonna have to put a paint thinner, or, well, maybe not paint thinner, but like urethane reducer, something really strong inside here, and move that around just to make sure that I get as much of that dust out of there as possible before I put the tank liner in. And since I'm going to do that, I'm stuck letting this thing dry today. So I will not get it lined, at least not this morning. I might do it later after I do the other vehicle. But I will get this thing lined, and you guys will see it on this episode. So stay tuned. Let's get this thing cleaned out and continue. So you can see this thing is much cleaner now. It looks so much better. That yellow is from my light. It's got a weird yellow hue on the edge of the light spectrum. But this thing is just so nice now. All that spot that was right there is just completely gone. But you can see the line where the level of the tank was, and that's where the rust starts. So the varnish was below that, but the rust is above that. It even goes to the back there. So that red there is rust, just a slight surface rust. So that's what I'm going to line it for, is to get that rust and keep it from having a problem. Now that tray, I got it loose, but I'm going to have to, well, it's a lot cleaner than it was before. I'm going to have to pull that towards the camera here, put it in the center section, and then I have to put it in a baggie. I'm going to have to get a large Ziploc baggie and try and put it in that baggie before I throw the liner in here. But first things first, I have to get it dried off. So I'm going to go ahead and dry this tank out on the inside, and then we will be back to take a look at the head. Alright, we have a gas tank, a cover, sending cover. Oh, I found the gasket somewhere. There it is. I gotta grab the gasket. I must have kicked it earlier. And then we have the red coat product. I also have, inside of here, that plastic thing sitting inside of it's actually a Menards bag. As silly as that is, there is a Menards bag in here. So I'm going to get this stuff in there. We're going to stir it all over the place. And then I have to somehow fetch that bag. I'm going to throw some gloves on. I'm going to fetch that bag, and then I have to hang it up here with another zip tie and a stick or something. I'll figure something out. And let it sit there and hang. And then I'm going to have to sit and turn this thing back and forth. But if I want anything uncoated, it's going to be in this vicinity, so I want it to hang there. I don't want that thing getting stuck anywhere like on the bottom where it can eventually come off and wreck the coating. If it's on the top, it's a lot less likely to cause an issue. Wow, that was hard to say. So let's begin. Let's get this product in there and get everything sealed off. I will note, don't be like me and make sure you put a mask on when you do this. Probably some gloves too would be a wise idea, but I'm too stupid for that. Well, there you have it. We are done with this episode here. I am going to end on showing you guys what the inside of this tank looks like. I'll get this baffle inside here, and then we'll hope to see you on the next episode of this Firebird Trans Am ordeal. Here you have it. Here's the finished product. You can see a nice, perfect layer here on the bottom, but still got to pull off the cap. Don't forget that. But you can see it's a little uneven in spots. That baffle was extremely hard to get. For instance, like over here on the side, I got a really thin layer on the side there. A little thinner than I wanted. Almost didn't even hit the center of the baffle there. Missed a couple little spots there. The usual. I mean, I don't have the light over there, but you get the gist of it. There's the nice red film on there. It's a kind of a, I don't know how to describe it. It's hard yet soft. It's a pretty decent coating on there, and it'll do the trick for many years to come. So this tank is now saved and ready for a lot of use, and it will hold up well to pretty much anything I throw at it. You can see that I left the baffle uncoated. I was able to protect it via my wrapper job here. There you have it. That's it for this job. Next time you see it, it'll be going in the car with a new fuel pump and sending unit assembly.